happy Michelle's Magical Monday. And I really hope you're having a magical day, a magical week, a magical time, because we're in some pretty beautiful, creative space right now. And I truly hope that you're finding that things have opened up. There was some intensity. I can't tell you how many people felt like February and March were a little rough around the edges, but things seem to be like opening up like a spring flower. In fact, I have these gorgeous roses. They might be some of my favorite ever. If you know me, you know I love roses. It is one of my favorite flowers. I can't say it's my very favorite flower, but it is one of my favorite flowers, and it's certainly my favorite flower to access. But to be able to get this entire rainbow rose is sort of a metaphor for where we are. This does not come in nature. This is not how this rose was naturally bloomed. And yet, like a science project, they teach how to do this with roses, with food coloring and water and splitting the different ends at the bottom, and that's how they like bring this up. Where there is a will, there is a way. So for me, this rainbow metaphor is where there is a will, there is a way. And by will, I want to not be the negative. Like willfulness can have such a negative connotation, where that like a little small child that is throwing a temper tantrum. And yet will comes from our solar plexus. It is an energetic that is where you start saying, I want to create this. How do I make it happen? Show me. How does what I want in life get to be made manifest? And so that's what this flower like really represents to me, is a merging of all things. The rainbow, the chakras, all the different colors. There's an emergence right now happening in the energy field. We're in between the two Aries new moons. We had one on the 21st of March, and we have another one on the 20th of April. The 20th of March was in the first degree of Aries, and the last is in the last degree of Aries. And it is like 10 minutes before it moves from Aries into Taurus. So this is an extremely rare occurrence, and it's a little over a week away from now. We'll talk more about it next week. But what I'm saying here is there's a unique opportunity to hit a full time reset button on maybe there was something you put aside in the past because you had a will, but you didn't have a way. This is currently a time for getting really aligned and moving forward in the energy of I can and I am. Aries is all about the I am presence. So remember, when we're saying I am, you are claiming whatever you are. So be claiming something you want to be. So in this case, I am powerful, or I am a creator. I am a manifester. I am living my best life. I am making things happen, instead of I am trying, or I am tired, or I'm not enough. You want to say I am enough right now. You want to live in the energy of it is my birthright to create the life I desire, and be open to choosing a big dream right now, because this solar eclipse resets your dreams. So there's a karmic, there's like this really beautiful karmic thing happening right now where there's a set of your karma that's over. If you're ready to accept it, forgive it, let it go, and this would be a great week to do that, because you're in the disseminating moon. You'll be in the dark moon next week. We had the full moon last week, so the moon is, and wasn't it beautiful? It was the pink moon. We had a lot of really intense, beautiful things. You had Ramadan, Easter weekend, Passover, the 4/4 portal, the full moon, all happening at the same time. These things don't happen all at the same time every year. And so in this energy, it was basically a holy day for so many different traditions. You just had to feel the energy of that holiness inside of you. And remember that you are part of the living mechanism of the energy of all that is. And I like to call it God essence, God or Goddess. You are a expression of God living through your eyes, tasting through your taste buds, hearing music through your ears, sound through your ears. The way God expresses itself is through you. The way God receives is through you. So if there is anything here that is blocking your receiving, maybe it hasn't been safe to receive in the past, or maybe you feel unworthy or not good enough, the best thing I can ever give you is to return yourself back to the energy of love, and return yourself back to the energy of shamelessness. No child is born full of shame. It'll lay on its back, happy baby, as nude as the day it was born, and just smile and laugh and be joyful. A child is not born with shame. So remember to return yourself to that childlike wonder of the truth of everything about us should be without shame. We should be remembering that we are great. And I'm really right now this week emerging into the word grateful. This might be my favorite word this week. Great. I am great and I am full. So when you feel that and you feel them sort of pulling those words apart and feeling each one as its essence, then you are great and you are full, and everything you have is here, and it is now, and it is present. And isn't that what we talk about? The now is the present tense, and you are here now, and you are grateful, and you are present in the essence of your godlike substance, of God essence or Goddess. And so you're here calling yourself back to the remembrance of this essence inside of you that is ready to express, ready to be the I am presence, ready to experience everything as it unravels, and to taste and see and do and be in an embodiment. We're an embodiment. So remember, you need to rest. Remember, you need to have joy. Remember that you're a being of love. And that's what I think is coming in right now. And you had a very big shift. Today is Monday, the 10th. And you might be watching this on the 10th or the 11th, but depending on where you are, Mercury moves into Gemini. And this means, Venus moves into Gemini today. And this means that the goddess of love is moving into expression, right? verbal communication. How are you ready to express your love? So this is where you start unraveling all that you are in an expression of the journey. How do you tell someone, I love you, just a little bit deeper? How do you express love into your own body, into your own essence, a little bit deeper? Your body only knows that about it. So inside the cells of your body, it isn't worried about the traffic. It isn't worried about anything else. The internal part of your body is understanding that it is 100% whole. It is the universe as you know it. And so anytime you're angry to the outside world, anytime you express anger, resentment, regret, shame, any of your negative emotions, that is then internalized. And when you are internalizing an outward expression, it shows up as disease or tiredness or pain or a physicality. But when you do the opposite, when you start expressing gratitude in your body, you're great and you're full, or you're in the expectation of I am love, or the expectation of I am a creator, or I am God essence, then you turn that inward and your body expands by becoming more light. It expands into this place of love and an expectation in your field. You charge the magnetic field around you to be a vibrational match for other people who love themselves, for other people who treat themselves as worthy, for other experiences that if you're in gratefulness, you're going to attract more things to be grateful for. So whatever you focus on expands. Wherever you give your emotions, you're going to attract more of that emotion. Not the exact thing. This is where the law of attraction can get really, really confusing for some people, because we think if we just visualize something specific, that is immediately going to be what I get. But it's really about the idea of a frequency or a feeling. Feeling is the key here, of feeling an emotion, which I would call embodiment, and then expecting that vibrational match to be coming to you, through you, and for you. And remember that when you're putting good things out into the world, you're an expression of God for other people. Miracles happen through people. You may be that person's prayer literally getting answered. You get to be the person that answers prayers. We get to experience miracles through people, and we get to experience being the miracle for another. And that is just an even bigger fulfilling of your heart. It opens your heart. It opens and expands your essence. And that's where we're at right now on a planetary level. There is an upsurge of this energy. There's an upsurge of meditation. There's an upsurge of intentional thought and visualization. And this is how we're at the tipping point. We believe we are at the tipping point where we have tipped over into a new earth reality. We are changing the world, one person, one thought, one moment at a time. And so all you have to do is start directing your energy, your thoughts to how you want the world to be, and can stay in a state of being. So you can be in the energy of gratitude. You can be in the energy of love. You can be in the energy of happiness. You can be in the energy of peace. So when you start returning yourself to those high frequency natural states of being, and you do that, of course, through forgiveness and acceptance and letting go. There is a lot of surrender right now being asked. We want to surrender our old outdated beliefs. We want to surrender our old identities. I mean, certainly there's this death and rebirth theme going on right now. You get two Aries, new moons in a row, and Aries is all about the fire. So to me, this is definitely a Phoenix rising new moon. In fact, if you're local to Orlando, I'm giving a free event at the center in Altamont, and we're going to be doing anointing, and we've got a little bit of gong meditation, and I'll be doing an activation on April 20th. It's a free event if you're local. And so we're going to be anchoring in that energy in a way that is meant to embody. If you're not local and you want to start working with some of these energies, I do have limited coaching available. I just booked 2 new coaching clients today. So I have a little bit of limited coaching still available for this month. If you're like, how do I let go? How do I get rid of the resentment, the rejection, or the regret? How do I do that? I don't know how to do that myself. I do have a few more slots if you wanted either a Living Magically coaching package or a Rise to Freedom coaching package, or I'm doing something really unusual, which is just a soul session, one session, which I don't usually do, but I've been called to do that through this eclipse portal because we do have the eclipse on the 20th. And then we have another one on the 5/5 portal. We have a solar eclipse. I'm sorry, we have a lunar eclipse on the 5/5 portal in May. So I feel like people do need a little bit of extra oomph to make this transition. And so whether it's me or someone else, don't think you have to do it all yourself. I mean, I even got a coaching call this week. So I turned to someone I value and had a session. So it's time. We're in the time of transformation. And it's happening all around you, whether you know it or not. If you're here in North America, spring is blooming. And so it's very visual right now. The things are transforming. The seeds we've planted are transforming into new buds and into growth and opportunities. So if you still feel stuck, or you're like, I'm here, but I just need a little bit of help, make sure that you get it. Make sure you get community right now. That's why I'm having the free event on the 20th. I'm going to be at a women's conference in Kansas City, Missouri. If you're close to Kansas City and you want to meet me, and you have a little bit of time on Saturday, I'm going to be at and it's really reasonably priced. It's only like $40 for a ticket. So if that's something you want, DM me and I can get you in touch with the organizers. So there's just a lot going on, and go out and anchor in this energy right here, right now, because we are having a revolution, and maybe revolution isn't the right word, a renaissance. I really believe this summer is a renaissance, going back to the masters. Anytime there's a renaissance, there's a mastery of something. And I think this is spiritual renaissance that we're having. You're going to look back in history and they're going to call this one of the greatest times in history, this transformation of new thought, which is really old thought. If you go right back to what Christ was saying in the original Aramaic, if you go back to the original emerald tablets, which are 4,000 to 5,000 years old, and look at the original Hermetics, they're all saying the same thing, which is love is the way. And so when you become full of love and grateful and embodied with the essence of the divine, then everything starts going your way. And one of my favorite affirmations right now is every day in every way, everything's getting better and better. And my second favorite affirmation right now is everything is going my way. And my third affirmation, when it doesn't seem to be going my way, I go back to something from the Course in Miracles, which is when you think you've surrendered, surrender some more, because lack of surrender is just feeling like you need to be in control. And when we believe the universe is working for us, with us, and through us, or if you want to use the word God, when we believe God is working with us, through us, and for us as essence, and something appears to be not going our way, if we return to the truth of everything has to happen exactly the way it's happening, that's an old shaman saying, it has to happen this way, because if I believe it's working for me, then some things have to be removed if they're not for me, and some things have to come in. We resist change even when we've asked for it. When we ask for something to come into our life, we manifest or we pray for something to come in. We have to be the being that is willing to receive. And that being is not the one that didn't have it. So we have to be at the vibration of receiving. We have to be at the vibration of the one who already is, for it to show up on our doorstep or into our lives. Then we are open to receive. And a lot of us aren't and haven't been, and maybe are now becoming ready to receive in a whole new way, at an upper level, open to receive, because maybe it hasn't been safe to receive money or love or affirmations or appreciation. Maybe it hasn't been safe, but we have to allow ourselves to be open and allow ourselves to decide, maybe it isn't safe, but I'm going to live it anyway. Maybe it doesn't feel safe, but my truth is that love always wins. And it does. Love always wins. It may for a moment appear to be darkest before the dawn. That's another universal truth. It's fact. It is the darkest before the sun rises. And so in the same idea of when you think you've surrendered, surrender some more. It's that dark night of the soul, or that moment where you can't see where something is coming from right before it arrives. So continue to hold your hope, continue to hold your gratefulness for something that you can't see, because if you don't hold the gratefulness, then you're in lack and it can't arrive at all, because you cannot receive from a place of lack. You must receive from a place of gratitude. That's universal law. That's natural law. So as we return ourselves to our heart center, I want you to just take a couple of deep breaths. And I want you to place your hand on your heart. And I want you to breathe in the essence of love. And just imagine that it is surrounding you. And just remember all the way around you, above you, below you, in front of you, behind you, in the future and in the past, to the right of you, to the left of you, and more importantly, inside of you. You are made of the essence of love. And when you remember you're made of the essence of love, think about that moment, your most beloved moment, that place where you were at the most love, the most joy, the most peace. And now take that and expand it. Expand it to more love, more joy, more peace than you've ever had. And internalize that. Give it to every cell of your body. Tell your body, I love you so much. I am great and I am full of love for you, body. And I want you to open up to receiving that. Practice the art of receiving love, starting from yourself, which is the safest. And then let's send that love out into the world with no expectations of getting it from anyone back, just unconditional love out into the world, into the planet, into the trees, into the ground, into the waters, into the land, into every plant, into every animal, and even into every human. And now from that place of putting out love, bring it back in and practice receiving love from outside of you, the essence of love. And feel how receiving it feels good and makes you feel whole and holy and complete. And remember, you are holy and complete. And in this remembrance, reset your cellular memory. You're receiving love, you're giving love, you love yourself, you love your body. Maybe even throw in I love my life. I'm grateful for all that I have and all that I ever have received. And maybe I am grateful for all that I'm becoming. And I am grateful for all that I will be. And I'm grateful for all that's still ready to arrive. And it's on its way to me. Thank you. It is done. 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 And so it is. And so it shall be. Try that practice for a little bit this week. That's my home play assignment with you. If you were to do this, I promise it will change your vibration. I promise you this one exercise alone could be life-changing for you. And if you do need some help, if you don't feel like you can get there, please send me a message and we'll have a little chat and see if there isn't something we can do to get you there. So this week, just remember we have a big eclipse coming up in a week and a half on the 20th. Let go, let God, let it go if it doesn't serve you. Let it in if you've been holding back from receiving. And realign yourself to who you are, who you want to be, and in the energy of thankfulness and gratefulness. And eternally, love is within you. And remember to have a magical week, and I'll see you again next Monday.